somebody came on a webcast and they were talking about opportunities. And again, still a contractor. And I looked around and I just didn't see anybody like me at the top. And Silicon Roundabout is popping. It's like I'm walking there for lunch every day, because obviously I'm at Liverpool Street, and I'm seeing the startups, I'm seeing new businesses, and I'm seeing the energy. I'm like, I want to be involved in this. So I then went and retrained as a product manager for General Assembly. We managed to get funding, and with other people in HSBC, Alan Smith, I can say this now because he's been the most senior black person at HSBC for the last 20 years.
Wow. So now you've obviously worked for bigger financial institutions.
Yeah.
Still Oracle DBA in, but obviously now speaking to the business, and now obviously, like you said, you're more confident speaking to people, so you're now moving into more liaison with the business, IT, project management, etc.
Sure.
So after EY, where are the next couple of gigs?
So EY, UBS, JP Morgan, back to UBS, finished at UBS, went to Colt Telecommunications. This is such a wicked location because I'm actually just pointing to the buildings that I worked in. So Colt was, Oldgate East, just up there. So I worked for those guys for just under a year. And what was that? That was pure PM, so that was no tech. I think they'd just been audited by PwC. Estate was in a mess, and a few of us went in to work on that. So I worked for a separate company. Mm-hmm. That was fine. Did that. So then now it's just very normal talking to. I realized the gift of being a techie and then going into project management was being able to speak to both parties. A lot of PMs didn't like to talk to techies. A lot of techies wanted to do tech and not talk to PM. I could talk the language of both. So that was my sweet spot. So continued on after Colt. What did I do after Colt? So finished at Colt, and then I went to work for ICAP.
Yep, I know ICAP. Yeah.
ICAP, Liverpool Street, just there.
Yeah.
I did 2 stints at ICAP, technical PM, and that was good. It was good. Quite a very traditional organisation. Obviously, the broker's broker. Not really that enjoyable, but again, contracting was good for the CV, internationally recognised. Everybody knew who they were. Good for me, but not enough development. Yeah. I wasn't moving forward enough. So around this time, I decided I wanted to retrain. So I'm trying to think what year this was now. This might be 13, 14. Yeah, 13, 14. So 2013, 2014. And Silicon Roundabout is popping. It's like I'm walking there for lunch every day, because obviously I'm at Liverpool Street, and I'm seeing the startups, I'm seeing new businesses, and I'm seeing the energy. And I'm like, I want to be involved in this. So I then went and retrained as a product manager for General Assembly. Mm-hmm. Did the course. Had an amazing teacher, Yori Gonda, who used to work for General Assembly. I retrained, and then I got a job at Carphone Dixon's. Mm-hmm. And I helped them launch their award-winning app called Pinpoint. So maybe about, around that time, it was phones for you, Carphone, Sainsbury's, Tesco, and everyone else that's normally on the high street now. If you walked into Carphone, before it was Dixon's, you walked into Carphone and you spoke to a representative, they would basically say, at any one time, what do you want? Phone, tariff, coverage. And we enabled the customer service representative to use a tablet to select the best deal commercially and also for the customer out of some circa 1,200 different tariffs that they had available at any one time, which we refreshed daily, which obviously was totally unfair for the people in store to have known what was the best commercial viable option for them at the time. So that was great. So partnered with a great company called Bow and Arrow, and won quite a few awards for that actually with the guys and Carphone Dixon. Mm-hmm. So that was good. So I did a few years at Carphone, and then product management is hard.
Why is that? Why did you say that?
So you're a really poignant, tricky juncture with the commercial side of the business, the tech arm, and the customer. And you are the meat in that sandwich. And it's flipping hard. It's hard work. And depending on the sector that you're in as well. So I really admire product owners, product managers that do that role, because it's tough. It's tough. But I'd done that. I'd launched a few apps. Dixon came in and bought Carphone. And then I just thought, right, it's my time to pivot. So then HSBC called. HSBC called. I knew quite a few people that were working there. Daryl West had just come in to come in as Group COO. Group CIO. He'll kill me if I said that. Group CIO. And sorry, Daryl. And he was revolutionizing the bank. He had gotten budget for the biggest transformation project in banking history. I think 1.4 billion. Mm-hmm. At this stage, I didn't know Daryl at all, and I was brought in to again help broker that conversation between tech and business, mm-hmm. and transformation, and agile and change management. It was, Sebastian, you can talk to people. Yeah, I can do that. You understand technology? Yeah, I can do that. This is where we want to get to. Oh, I've done a bit of that with Carphone. Oh, okay. We think you'd be a great fit. I was like, okay, cool. I had no idea what I was doing. But it was transformation. So I went into HSBC as a transformation manager for, I think I had 3 different areas of the bank at the time. There's been loads of reshuffles. These names won't even exist. Global Private Banking, Risk IT, Group COO, and one more. Anyway, so yeah. So I was like the reportee, not responsible for, but facilitated a lot of the changes. Yeah. High cost to low cost shifts, onshoring to offshoring, closure of certain branches, movement of jobs and roles, hiring in low cost locations, ensuring that the knowledge was taken from the high cost locations, such as where HSBC has lots of sites, Sheffield, Glasgow, to our offshore locations. Hyderabad, Guangzhou. Did that for 2 years. Mm-hmm. That was hard. Worked with an amazing team. Again, my manager at the time, Phil McCrocombe. Yeah, amazing manager. Amazing manager. Got so much respect for that guy. Martin Young as well. Great team. We were as a team of around 50, 60 at one stage, right. All brought in. And it was very much a bimodal model. Very much like Nescafe and the coffee machine. We were brought in to work with the organisation, but be a little bit outside of it, to ensure that the organisation was accountable and we could report that back to the guys at the top at the time.
So with your career, it's obviously vast, it's wide, and you're way leaps and bounds from the factory the factory days.
Factory chip, yeah.
So now I know you've got into a bit of diversity and inclusion.
Sure.
So you've gone into that kind of space. So just give people like an overview. What does that mean in terms of what you've done in that space?
What have I done in that space? So I've partnered with organisations. I was very, very vocal in HSBC when I was there. It's a really simple question. Somebody came on a webcast and they were talking about opportunities. And again, still a contractor. And I looked around and I just didn't see anybody like me at the top. So I raised that to Daryl. And I just says, when I look at the top, I don't know if I have a career here. Because the totem pole gets very vanilla.
Yeah.
And if you're promoting opportunities, if you're saying everybody can be anything that they want to be here, what is happening? What is happening at the top? Daryl liked my email, says, let's meet. Oh, okay. So let's meet. So we met, video call in Hong Kong, over Hong Kong, and a few other people had messaged him as well. So he brought us all together. My brother from another mother, Sheo Daniel, and my other brother from another mother, Alan Smith, mm-hmm. both are still at HSBC. And we became a core team of 3. So we managed to get funding, and with other people in HSBC, Alan Smith, I can say this now because he's been the most senior black person at HSBC for the last 20 years.
Wow.
And we managed to get funding to create a video where Daryl interviewed Alan to talk about his experiences. Obviously wasn't in that video, I'm a contractor, you know, but I managed to get funding. It went group wide. Noel Quinn liked what we did, promoted it, current chief exec. And then from that, I just started to partner with, I started to look around the city, and I just struggled to find, I know the groups were there, I could have looked harder. I struggled to find more of my skin folk and kinfolk that were being vocal about diversity. Because the lack of senior black leaders in the group, in the city. I'd see brothers around the city, I'd see them out on a Thursday night, but I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
And I've also learnt the hard way that skin folk isn't always kinfolk.
Yeah.
And I learned that the hard way, speaking to certain brothers and sisters and thinking, yeah, okay, I think we should move forward with this. And people have different directives, and some people were scared to talk out of fear. I had a lot of support in HSBC to talk about this. And so then I started working with UK Black Tech and started to present for those guys. Partnered with the Reach Society as well a few years ago, and was working with those guys. And then just started to find more and more senior black leaders. So it was like, oh, there are out there, and there are people talking about the dearth of senior black talent. No, the senior black talent is there, we're just not being given the opportunities, you know. And so then you start thinking, okay, so it's not just me. It's not just this bank. You go and speak to your counterpart in Barclays. Then you have Black History Month every year, and the same people are saying the same thing. Talent pipeline, we're going to look at graduates. Well, why are you not looking at C-suite and senior and mid and retail? How many people are skipping? Why are there so many? When you look at the disparity or you look at the proportion, we have a huge number of people that are in retail that are not being given the same opportunity to move into head office, to progress through the ranks of the bank. So I'm like, why? So yeah, so I got a little name for myself just asking that question. I think at that stage I was just less fearful, more confident, and more secure enough to say, well, if it all goes wrong and they just sack me, I just get sacked. It's fine. I just go and get another job, you know. But I understand the challenge for a lot of people that are not in that position, that don't have that mindset or that level of freedom, and are really want to do more, but have not been vocal for a number of years, especially last year, and now don't know where to start. And also for people that are being lumbered with the responsibility to talk about it because they are black and they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's right. Or they're not ready, yeah.
Not ready, yeah. So I understand. I understand both. But we all need to talk about it.
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been fantastic speaking to you, hearing your story. It's very inspiring. And I know everyone's going to have millions of questions for the other things that you do once they go on your website, which we'll put up on the screen for everyone to see.
Sure.
But you're definitely an inspiration and also #legend. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the future.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Excellent. That's a wrap.
Done.
And we cut.
Forward thinking.